it. I'm gonna give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Hakudash. I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being a great example to Israel. All right, my dear elect, I want to say peace and blessings to the hopefully elect on the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity. All right, that great song, this is Brother Nabah. I'll just come with a little lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai. As you see the title, it says, He's that have power shows who in power. All right, and it's going to this news just last night, say 1 day ago, dealing with the Democrat, all right, and the Republican, basically going into, all right, the political, you know what I'm saying, aspect of this devil and how he is in power and control. All right, so I'm gonna play this video, and Lord willing, y'all brothers to be edified, and you'll see the reason why I named the title as a name. So I'm playing a little video.
Work at democracynow.org/give.
This is the only education purpose use only, fair use.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez as we continue our conversation with the renowned Israeli historian Ilan Pappé, professor of history and director of the European Center for Palestine Studies at the University of Exeter. He's joining us now from Doha, Qatar, and there's a long delay when he's answers a question. I want to ask you, Professor Pappé, about this trip you took to the United States recently. When you arrived at the Detroit airport, you were questioned for 2 hours by federal agents about Gaza, Hamas, and other issues. U.S. agents only allowing you to enter the country after they copied the contents of your phone. Can you take us through what happened?
Yes, I will do that, Amy. But if I may, and I think it connects to our previous conversation, I just want to say that there's something bigger here than just the question of the ICC and Israel abiding or not abiding by it. I think that's a moment of truth for the international tribunals such as the ICC and the ICJ, because they would face governments that would not probably implement the rulings, because Israel still has very strong allies. And I think the rest of the world, especially the global south, would watch.
Y'all heard that? It said Israel has still very strong allies. You know, that's to show you that the Amalekites are the rulers, them JOOs.
See whether the terms universal and international really mean something. So I think Palestine is just one case of many in which we have now a real struggle to define again what is universal, what are universal values, and what is international justice. And I think that's why it's such an important historical moment. Now, to come back to my ordeal, which was not that big, but I think is part of a bigger picture. I arrived in Detroit after 8 hours flight from London, and was taken immediately to a side room by 2 federal agents, and they had 2 sets of questions for me. One was about my views about the Hamas, my views about what's happening in Gaza. Do I frame what happened in Gaza as genocide? They wanted to know my reaction to the slogan, Palestine should be free from the river to the sea. They refused to tell me why they stopped me. Why did I have to answer these questions? And then another set of questions had to do with whom do I know among the American Muslim community, the American Arab community, and the Palestinian community in the United States. And that was followed by taking my phone for a long period, copying everything in it, and making me wait another time for phone conversations before letting me into the country.
See, who had the power to do that? All right, as he was being apprehended, so to speak, you know, by 2 federal agents, which is what Esau Edom. All right, because he had the power, all right, to allow to be brought in and not brought in. See, I got a precept, you know, I want to bring out, because when you go into that word genocide, all right, it means, because he was questioning about that, on his thoughts of Israel against the Palestinians is genocide. So when you go into genocide, it says
genocide. Genocide.
Where it says to deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group, which aim of destroying that nation or group. All right, and you see what's going on when you're dealing with the small heads, all right, and the Palestinians, all right, the war in Gaza, all right, and guess what? It is genocide, but in order for him, all right, to come over, like I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video, he didn't want to answer the question. And he said he'll answer it once he get to one of his spots, all right, that he gotta do a conference, all right. So let me play a little more of that video and then get back to my precept.
Can I ask you exactly, Professor Pape, what you answered them when they said, what do you take to be Palestine will be free from the river to the sea, when they asked you about whether genocide is being committed in Gaza, etc.?
Yes. Well, to the questions of do I define the Hamas as a terrorist organization, to that I refuse to answer that question, and I suggested to them that they should go and listen to my talks in the Michigan area where I will discuss this issue. As for the question of genocide, I laconically said that yes, I do frame the Israeli actions in Gaza as genocide, but again I suggested that if they want a more detailed analysis of why do I frame it like this, they are most welcome both to read my articles and to come to the lectures in the Michigan area. As for the question, how do I respond to the slogan, Palestine should be free from the river to the sea, I said that everywhere where there is a river and there is a sea and people living between them, they should be free. Which was a moment a bit ironical or comical when one of them tried to show me his geographical knowledge, and he said, so what about Saudi Arabia? So I corrected my phrase and I said, well, anywhere where there are countries between two sources of water, people should be free, which seemed to satisfy them at that particular moment. I have to say they were polite. I don't want to describe it as an ordeal. They were polite, but what really bothers me is why at all do they have the right to ask me, and what was the real subtext for this whole affair? And I have my own understanding.
You know why? Because they the power that be. You know, they is the power. That's to show you that the one in power shows you he have power. All right, and I'm gonna get into that. This is Michael 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands. And what you can see, we ready to go. We ready to go. So like, and what you see, what's going on right now.
I don't have the
all right, so like dealing with. What you see, what's going on right now, dealing with. All right, Israel. You know what they got going on in Gaza. All right, it shows you who in power. You see, because this is conversations, all right, gatherings that they have among themselves, all right. But guess what? It said when the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. And guess what? By the force that he used, which is his blessing, this sword, he go throughout the what? The whole country, the whole world, all right. As when you go on to verse 2, it says that they covet fields and take them by violence. All right, because this whole war is basically going to, all right, the parting of the sea, which I think is the Mediterranean Sea. All right, but it's more to that. All right, but here it is, it's in the power of their hands, and it says what? And they covet fields and take them by violence. All right, and we understand that the so-called white man, he all about violence. With that sword, he was able to what? To conquer and destroy. What? To this day. And it says, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his own house, even a man in his own inheritance. That's exactly what they doing over there, man. All right, to show you that who's in power. And then for the leader of the Islam try to come over here to the Americas, he had to be questioned. You know, to show you who is in power. All right, so Lord willing, that's it. Lord willing, y'all brothers up to edified. It's just to show you who is in power. Shalom, Baba Baba, Brakah.